Welcome. What are the ABCs of healthy accountability? I know we're in a new year. I know, especially at the beginning of the year, whether you're in the workplace or at home, we often hear this word accountability. When we are going to the gym, maybe we're trying a new diet, maybe we are implementing new practices for our well-being, like journaling. But when you think of the word accountability, what comes to mind? Comment below. I'm actually going to link this document as well that I'm about to share with you all because it's not only applicable, it's one of our tools here at Educator Aid, one of our core teaching tools. It's not only applicable to an organization and the teams I usually work with, it's applicable to individuals. And you all know on Love Learning You podcast, that's the official Educator Aid podcast. We sponsor it. And I'm the founder of Educator Aid Consulting Firm. But when I think about the topics that we've touched on, so much has to do with culture and communication. We used to be called cultural capacity. We pivoted. We really had some amazing featured voices guests in 2024, and that will be no different in 2025. But I wanted to hop on here. Yes, I put on oil on my hands, putting on some lip gloss, and just getting going for the day. But this term accountability has really been at the forefront of my mind because it's something that gets tossed around so often. I think we've also seen it happen publicly. Often when you hear people talk about cancel culture, you might there might be a follow-up that says, hey, we need to hold this person or this organization accountable. So when I really look into what that means and how do we take self-accountability first, because ourselves are really the only thing that we control in our lives. We might think or perceive that we have control in other situations, but it is exactly that. We think or perceive it. And I want to share this graphic. I want to share this graphic very briefly. We will do this really quick, and then I will get off of here for today. But in this model from Educator Aid that we utilize with teams, the ABCs of healthy systems of accountability, this can also apply to you as an individual. And there's three factors for a healthy system of accountability. The first is accountability itself. So being able to look at the current aspirations and capacity or bandwidth levels for yourself. I'm going to personalize this to you as an individual, whoever you are watching right now. Are you being honest with yourself about your own ability, your own bandwidth? On some days, I can complete a lot. On other days, I feel like I don't get anything done. And that, again, is my perception of some measuring stick I've created. The key of ability in this word and why this kicks this off is a healthy system of accountability considers who are the players at the table, how are they connecting with each other, and then what are the individual abilities and capacities. So just like I modeled for you how I might think about that as an individual, the same is true within an organization. Do they understand? So if a leader in a corporate organization says, I'm going to hold you accountable for these metrics at the end of this quarter, has that person, that leader, do they understand maybe the team is made up of 15 members? Do they understand the different abilities and bandwidth and professional resources necessary for the members of that 15-person team to thrive? The second B in the ABCs of healthy systems of accountability would be boundaries. Understanding when to say yes and how to say no to opportunities. Learning to say no to requests that could deplete you emotionally or physically. This one has been really, really tough for me over the years. I want to be helpful. I want people to know that I care about them and that I'm helpful to them. And that's just not always going to be the case, folks. You can't look at it that way. I've had to curb that expectation even of myself. I can't help how somebody feels other than the feedback they're willing to tell me and say, hey, next time, could we go on this topic or whatever the case may be. But to put that expectation when I have on myself, it still goes back to, am I honestly reflecting on what I need? Am I checking in with myself to even know I need to say no to this because I need this energy for XYZ? Thirdly, the C is communication. So A for accountability, ability, emphasis on ability, B for boundaries, and C for communication. Understanding how you communicate externally and internally. So, as individuals, how do we communicate with our immediate families versus our extended families? How do we communicate on social media versus talking on the telephone? How do we communicate via email? What are our boundaries for when we communicate with people from work versus personal and private life, etc.? And then for organizations, how are you communicating strategic goals, initiatives, and problems that need solving? We could apply this to our own individual lives too. And I notice I am not good at asking for help in my relationship at times. I'm often putting myself in a position where I need to take ownership for something, which isn't bad. But then being willing to actually tell my partner, hey, I don't understand this. I need help with this. That really, it goes back to childhood for me and not wanting to appear like I didn't know something. There's a lot of reasons for that. Spent a lot of time unpacking over the years, but um, only you can determine then what do these ABCs look like in your own life? So just wanted to hop on and show you a cool tool. We'll link it below if you want to download it or use it as a reminder. We're always here to provide value and resources. If you see one that hits or you have more questions about it, then please feel free to comment on any given video. You will also see us. I'm working with a partner organization, and we are trying to batch some of our interviews from 2024 into some shorts and clips, and also just respond to your all's feedback. So thank you to all of our subscribers here. I will also link, I put a brand new prioritization video on my personal YouTube page, Justine González, and you can also see some other videos there. That's mainly all about K-12 creativity and technology. I also share about gardening and cooking. That is very much my public channel, but it's also just things that I enjoy and passions personally. So if you prefer that connecting point outside of just our educator aid, communications, culture, self-awareness type videos, as well as our podcast here, that's the place to find it. And I will link it below. Take care, and let's continue to get compassionately curious together.